All right, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Problem, the podcast. I'm your host, if we have not met, I'm your host, Marsh Bice. And three problems we all face. I don't care what your social status is, adversity, uncertainty, and complacency are the three problems we're all going to face, and they're never going to go away. So here on this podcast, in a short amount of time, we'll help develop the life skills that you already have within to handle the adversity, embrace the uncertainty, and never settle again, because it ain't going nowhere. So you got to develop some life skills. And like I said, they're already within. And to make it easy, they all start with the letter C: communication, curiosity, creativity, continuous learning and action, and productive confrontation. And so if you work within these skills every single day, stretching your communication, your curiosity, your creativity, your continuous learning, you feeding that thing, you confront, but productively, then you're going to be RFA, ready for anything. Do you know everything? No. Are you ready for anything? Yeah. That's what I hope, that as you listen to these episodes, this will help you. I was talking to a buddy of mine, a new listener, John, and he is on the precipice of getting his life back turned around. And dude, he's on a great track. And he was listening to the podcast. He was like, man, I listen to this every single day. And, I'm like, bro, I put it out there as much as I possibly can because it helps me. These episodes help center me. So I don't want to be one of these guys that just gets on the mic and says, well, this is what you should do. I've been that guy, yet I wasn't doing it myself. I was talking about what I've done, not what I do. And so I'm really emphatic on making sure that what I'm communicating with you is something that I live by, or it's an aspiration. It's like sometimes, man, I do these episodes and it's like, bro, I never saw it like this. So it's kind of my stake in the ground, and it's the next thing that I go to. But before I rock out today with a lesson on patience, I want to give a shout out to No Comfort Zone. They posted a 5-star review, and this is what they write: If you're looking for a voice to silence the noise, Marsh has it. Listen to this podcast to level up. Listen up, because average isn't a game plan. Surround yourself with A players. That's what I hope everybody who gets on here. We're all A players. Surround yourself with A players. Make this podcast a part of your day. I've been a fan for Marsh, following him for years. Thanks for motivating the rest of us. Great podcast. Thank you so much for these reviews. It's been a little bit of time since somebody has posted, and I get it, man. Everybody's busy. But the reviews, I can't tell you how much they encourage me, because there's days, man, and I'll talk about in today's episode, where I just kind of threw in the towel for a minute. So you're going to go through those kind of seasons. Like I said, I'll talk about that here in just a second. But when you take a few minutes out of your super busy day and write a review, man, it means the world to me. But also, there are, I don't know what it is, 3.5, 4 million podcasts. I mean, it's overwhelming. Try to find a new podcast out there that isn't death related, but try to find a new podcast out there. It's overwhelming. It's like trying to drink from a water hose because of its popularity, which is great. And so it's your words and reviews on what your problem means to you. Like, what's your favorite episode? What's your takeaway? Like, why do you come back? Why do you listen to this? And, posting that, it really helps others too. It helps others stop and say, well, let me at least give one episode a listen. What is your favorite episode? So, if episode 812, whatever 812 was, if episode 812 was your favorite episode, then let people know, man, go to 812. If you're in this kind of season right now, because, we're all in different seasons. We all go through these different things: adversity, uncertainty, and complacency. And so I post these, and hopefully you'll contribute to that as well. And a lot of feedback I get is they're like, bro, I needed those exact words. I needed that episode. And it's stuff that I'm dealing with too. So I just share it so that I can come back to it later and listen to it, because sometimes I get a little bit out of alignment. And then I leave it behind also because not only to my children or to my family, I'll always be here. As long as podcasts are around, my voice will be here. So if it's something my children are going through and Pops ain't here no more, then they can listen to that. But also if you're just going through something, then you pop in, you listen to an episode and be like, all right, because, this is a long game that we're playing. Life is long. Nina Sosman Pogue, when she was on the episode many, many years ago, that's one thing that just always stuck with me. She's like, Marsh, life isn't short. Life is long. And if you look at it that way, then you're gonna have more sands to play with. And I guess this kind of ties in perfectly with what I'm talking about today, because I cracked open Gary Vaynerchuk's book. I guess his newest book was 12 and a half. And 12 and a half, leveraging the emotional ingredients leveraging the emotional ingredients necessary for business success. And initially, when I was going to the table of contents, because I like to random read, I go to the table of contents, I just find a chapter in any book that sounds like that's the one I want to roll with that day. And I was actually thumbing to get to the chapter on empathy, and patience was a chapter that ended up popping up. And I was like trying to turn it to empathy. I'm like, bro, I'm going to come back to this one. I'm like, let's see what he's talking about with patience. And the chapters, like this chapter is only like 4 pages long. So that's what I really like about it. So it's a short chapter, but it's like a lifetime to learn it, because it's all about patience. So he starts off the chapter by defining patience, and I want you to listen, get ready, settle in as far as what the definition of patience is. And patience, by definition, is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. So let me say that again. Patience is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. And he says that when he reads that definition of what patience is, he always smiles ear to ear, because patience has been a beautiful gift in his life. A gift. I mean, think about that. I mean, he's had the capacity, or he's developed the capacity to accept that there was going to be delay, to tolerate the trouble and the suffering without getting angry or upset. And, I haven't used patience as a gift at all. When I look at that, like how much tolerance, how much acceptance do I have to delay, to trouble, to suffering? Like, no, bro, I big lip it. I'm like a 4-year-old child and just get mad and stomp off. And I quit. I want to play another game. I've done that. But patience, man, when you look at it like this, it's just like, all right, that's a different way of looking at things. Back to the book. Patience is the core ingredient to the lightness I feel inside. Patience is the core ingredient to why he feels so light inside. And he said, when you have a good relationship with time, like, what is our relationship with time? I know it's like time is the enemy, right? And we think we're running out of time, but he feels light inside. He's developed the capacity to tolerate delay, trouble, suffering. It's not that he's like, oh, I'm cool with it, great. No, but I mean, he expects it. He has developed a tolerance for it. And that's why he feels light inside without getting angry or upset. That's why he feels light inside. And because he has a good relationship with time, he says that pressure is lifted And he said, you can end up doing so much more. Bro, I was like, that made me like put the pen down and be like, I never looked at patience like that. When you're patient, you're lighter. You're more agreeable. You're not all prune face, man. And you lift that pressure. See, when you're not constantly pressuring yourself, you can actually enjoy what you're doing. Think about that. When you don't have these pressures on trying to hit these milestones, you actually enjoy the process. I think you should be urgent. Urgency is good. Urgency means that you're on top of things, that you're not negotiating, that you're not procrastinating with yourself. You just get it done. So urgency is good. Being impatient is not good. Impatience can actually be very destructive. It can ruin things in your life. I've had it firsthand where I've tried to hijack time, hijack situations. Oh, no, I need it now. I know better than life does. And hijacked that, shortchanged it, made the situation worse. Because sometimes through patience is maturity, man. It's a spiritual maturity is what it is. Patience gives me the perspective and the skill set that it takes time to develop something. That time is necessary. Because when you're impatient and you try to hack it or rush it, I end up making things way worse. You make bad decisions. You force it. Or you end up settling. And you settle for something that, had you let things play out the right way, be urgent, be in alignment, but let things take their own course. If you would do that and let time unfold it, what else was there available that you'll never know because you were impatient? You had to have it on your times, on your terms. And if you would have let it just kind of play itself out, it would have saved you. But that's tough, man, because in the moment, it feels like it's taken forever. But in the long game, in the long side of it, patience could have saved you not only time, but also heartache and money. Vaynerchuk goes on to say that we'd have happier children. Hell, we'd have a happier society, which includes adults, children, adults, big babies. I know I am. But we'd have even happier adults if we didn't need escapism to cope with the stress that impatience creates. Think about that. Because you're impatient, because things aren't going according to your back of the napkin plan, because you set this chart out in life and you did everything you were supposed to do and it's still not doing for you, it's still not happening, then what do? We escape. We cope. Netflix, overeat, overdrink, and we make the situation worse. It's staggering how many young people, especially 18 to 30, have so much anxiety about their careers. I just went to graduation last weekend, man. And it's like, I'm talking to these high school students. It's like, what's next? And they're like, I don't know. It's okay. You got plenty of time. But some of them, man, they're super uneasy because like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. A lot of them just throw themselves in college not having no clue what they want to do and then just start racking up free money until you got to pay it back because they're impatient. Like, sit back a little bit. And so many people are stressed out, especially younger people, stressed out, and they end up cashing out. And they cash out because they trade the long-term reward for some short-term win. I'll just take this job because I got to, I can make this money. And you don't even like what you're doing. And, I know a lot of people, my wife included, who she has a master's and she is not even in the field. I mean, hell, she owns her own gym. She got a master's in science. she's not even using it right now. She always has it to come back to, but also she just went with the flow. She struggled with that. She was very anxious about, well, I'm supposed to be doing this, and I was like, you can always come back to it. Just if you got to call in to do something else, do it. Always come back to it. And so many times, younger people, they feel like they're supposed to walk the plank of what their parents sacrificed for. Your parents sacrifice, bro, because that's just what we do as parents. You don't owe me anything for my sacrifice. You just do what you want to do. I tell my daughter that. Go live your life, man. Go see the world. You can always come back home. But there's a bigger world than home. Get out. Go see the world. Go see what's happening. And let me know how it's going. So many times people they trade the long-term investments, the patience, and investing in their career, investing in themselves. They trade that just to get a paycheck. And they shortchange the very thing that they were capable of achieving. And dude, impatience never goes away. It doesn't. And when you're impatient, think about this with me. When you're impatient, it messes with your inner spirit. And it really disrupts you from the inside out. And that disruption, it shows up in your energy. People can feel it. And you're putting out and burning up this negative energy. And it's like, dude, your wheels are spinning, man. You're not moving forward. And it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, I was impatient lately. And like last week, bro, I had to just like check out. Meaning I didn't write. I did very little reading. I did a little bit of working out. I didn't do much. I just got away from it. I slept in. I just walked away from it all. It was like, hold up, bro. Like, what is all this running and gunning for? Like, for what? I mean, I'm going to miss out on the beauty of life if I'm just hard-ass running toward these checkpoints and totally not even enjoying the process. And I think that's where a lot of the impatience has come from, man. I think a lot of my impatience has come from either trying to chase what success looks like or trying to undo and make up for time from my past. And I feel like, I've squandered a lot, lost a lot. But the problem is that just creates more impatience. And it feeds it. And the more you feed it, the worse it actually gets. Like, as I sit right here, man, I'm 51, about to be 52 this year. I got plenty of time because my goal is to live to at least 110. And with modern medicine and keeping my body fit and protecting my inner spirit, I got a shot. So I got plenty of time. I don't want to squander any of it, but I won't if I stay patient. If I just keep progressing every single day. Faith, family, fitness, finances, fulfillment. But I don't need a home run. I don't need to swing for the fences for tomorrow. No. Just do things that progress. Be urgent. Just don't be impatient. Now, there are going to be days you're going to fail. There are going to be days when things just don't go right. And that's okay. Because patience gives you the space to adjust, to reflect, to forgive, and snap back in and get back to work. Vaynerchuk writes, insecurity festers without the fertilizer of patience. Ooh. Insecurity festers without the fertilizer of patience. Because impatience and insecurity really go hand in hand. You might not be insecure with other people, but you could be insecure with yourself. And that's a whole different thing, man. When you're impatient and you got to hit this milestone, this checkpoint, or get this recognition in a certain amount of time, and it doesn't happen, it just makes you question yourself even more. That's the insecurity I'm talking about. Vaynerchuk writes, when you're desperate to prove something to other people in the short term, you don't give yourself a chance to enjoy the process. And when you don't enjoy the process, this is what makes you vulnerable to burnout. It's where burnout comes from. It does. Impatience, from rushing, from trying to prove or trying to catch up and trying to keep up. And when you're trying to catch up or keep up with someone else, none of that brings peace. It just creates more pressure. And that pressure is what makes you lash out. That pressure is what makes you shortchange relationships. That pressure is what makes you blur out the beauty in every day. I've done it, bro. I've lashed out at my wife saying, you don't understand, bro. I got ground to make up. I'm 51. I got a lot of time to make up. I've lashed out saying that. I didn't lose anything. I don't have any ground to make up. It may have taken me longer to realize some things. If you know now, if I knew then what I know now, sometimes it took then to get you to the now. So you're not behind. It just took you a little longer to realize it. And the only way that you're going to realize it, can't read about it. Sometimes you got to experience these things. So I'm not behind. And if I think that I got to make up ground, it's probably because I'm comparing myself to someone else who is like my age or even younger, who is successful. Bro, what race am I in? I'm in my own race, right? You got to run your own race. It's a long game. And just because it takes you longer to learn something doesn't mean you can't go further now. I've been the slow starter and slingshot past other people. You got to be reminded of that. So you got to unhook from the past, learn from the past, but unlatch from that, untether yourself from that, I should say. And just work a process daily, whatever that works for you, and enjoy it, man. Life is long. I mean, do me a favor, go back 5 years. From 46 to 51 is a complete blur. Like I couldn't tell you, like just sitting here saying, okay, at 46 I did this, at 47 I did that. I don't know. It was all a blur. I don't want it to be a blur. It doesn't have to be. And if I'm patient, I'll be able to see more. So now, bro, I'm just choosing to let today be what it is. Doesn't mean that I won't do hard things. Doesn't mean that I won't challenge myself. It doesn't mean that I won't push hard. But I'll also be patient. Vaynerchuk writes that when he was working in his dad's liquor store, a lot of his friends who were financially successful, they would come in and look at Vaynerchuk behind the counter and be like, poor guy, bro. He's just stuck in his pop's family-owned liquor store. But Vaynerchuk says it didn't worry him because he had a long-term vision. See, he was on YouTube before it was YouTube. He was already doing the videos. Before videos were the thing to do, he was already doing it. He had this long-term vision. And he writes, it's not like people who are patient are any less ambitious or tenacious. He says patience can give you permission to dream bigger. Think about that. A lot of times people see patience as like settling, as like just, oh, well, I'm just going to wait on the Lord. No. He said patient people that have a long-term vision, they are ambitious. They are tenacious. They will dig in. But because they have a tolerance and a capacity to expect that there's going to be delay There's going to be trouble. There's going to be unfairness. They expect it. They accept it. Cool. And they just make the necessary adjustments because they have a long-term vision. They make the adjustments now and keep on rocking. That's huge, man. Patience can help you relax your grip and stay steady and think long. You still work. You're still tenacious. But you're not flipping out when there's some sort of delay, trouble, or suffering. It's what a day is made out of. And so the real question is, can you develop the capacity? I mean, that's what patience is, right? It's a capacity. It's not some 30-gallon bucket that you just dump out all at once. It's a muscle. You develop it. You stretch it. You grow it. Because life is, it absolutely is going to bring you unexpected delays. Life is going to bring you trouble. Life is going to bring you suffering. And things won't always be fair. But when you're patient and you don't get angry or upset, you don't lash out. You hold the line. And sometimes that delay, in hindsight, you realize it was protection. It was preparing you. It was developing your resolve. And sometimes, man, to be patient is life reminding you just to chill out. Be urgent, but relax. You're the one who put the time constraint on, not life. Time is actually a gift when you have a good relationship with patience. Vaynerchuk says, I'm not in a rush to realize my dreams in the next few years. I'm excited about the next 46. And I read this line and I'm like, that is so true, man. I've been like, bro, by 55, I got to be this. Like, what's the rush? Like, for what? And then what? And I think that's why sometimes the things that these metrics I wanted to hit, I think the reason why they didn't happen is because, like, God's like, bro, what's the rush here? You got a long game here, right? So when he says, I'm not in a rush for the next 5 years to see what happens in the next 5 years. I'm excited about what happens in the next 46. See, that's a stretch mindset. That's a long horizon. I mean, bro, I've big lipped it before. I said, in 5 years, I got to be here. And I swear, like 5 months later, I get all big lip because I'm doing my part. Life isn't doing hers. And big lip it. I've quit, changed my mind, burned out, and moved around with a troubled spirit. Yeah, I read this, man. Patience is what it calms that spirit. And it's not, it's something, it's not a switch. It's a practice. It's something you got to work on daily. But here's the beauty of patience. When you're patient with yourself, you can be patient with others. You can tolerate their flaws, their delays, their struggles, because you've learned to do the same with your own. Tolstoy said, the less satisfied a person is with himself, the more useful he will be with others. Everyone knows something about himself that is worse than what his neighbor has done. And if you keep this in mind, humility comes easy. That's the connection between patience and humility. You don't walk around judging everybody else because you've made peace with your own imperfections. And so you become easier to be around. People can feel your drive. People can see and sense your intensity. But you're not snapping. You're grounded. Because patience doesn't mean that you're not ambitious. It means that your ambition is sustainable. And that's how you win the long game. Thanks so much for listening today. I really enjoyed sharing this episode. This means a lot to me. This episode, this meaning, but more so our connection all over the world. You listening to this, you sharing this with someone else, you giving me 20 minutes of your time. Much love. Appreciate that. And I hope it was beneficial. So let's patiently rock out today. All right? Keep it simple. Keep it moving. Never settle. Stay patient. Stay tough. Peace.